Has anyone ever seen someone seriously object to a marriage at a wedding? If so, how was it done and what happened? 1. The bride. She and her dad got into a loud argument in the hall outside of the church sanctuary. Neither the bride nor the groom wanted to get married. Her dad forced them into it. The bride was 16 and pregnant, the groom was 19. Her dad threatened to have him arrested if he didn't marry her. I'm surprised no one tried to put a stop to it. They got married. The bride and her dad had another loud argument after the wedding. The bride and groom never showed up for the reception. 2. Not at the wedding, but my mother-in-law called the church a couple of weeks before and asked them to cancel our wedding. Been married for 11 years now. She still can't understand why I don't like her. 3. My friend was the minister at a wedding. When he asked if anyone objected, the bride said, "Actually, me." My friend quickly took her to another room to speak with her. It turned out that the groom had threatened her when she arrived. She was 20 minutes late, and when she finished walking up the aisle, the groom leaned over and whispered, "I'm going to make you pay for this for the rest of your life." The wedding did not proceed. I don't know about other countries, but in Australia, the only thing that can legally stop the wedding is if you have evidence that one of the parties is already married to someone else. But people are still free to speak up and cause drama. 4. So my friend tried very hard to object to her uncle getting married. She was very serious, and her mom had to hold her arm down and cover her mouth. She was 8 and didn't want to share her uncle with her soon-to-be aunt. LOL. 5. Not an I object. Wedding interruption, but I have seen someone completely derail a wedding ceremony. We catered a wedding about a year ago where no cell phones or photography during the ceremony, please, was specifically requested. There was this one family member who decided the rules didn't apply to her and ended up ruining the entire ceremony. I was setting up the charcuterie boards and appetizers for the post-wedding cocktail hour while the ceremony went on. About halfway through, I hear a bunch of swearing and screaming, just a whole hullabaloo. Suddenly, all the music grinds to a halt and like 18 different voices groaning and yelling. F***INGDMN it, Ruth. And then a few moments later, a bent-in-half selfie stick comes flying over the wall separating the ceremony area from the reception hall and lands in the fountain next to me. Apparently, Aunt Ruth was a habitual, I do what I want. I'm a country girl, kinda gal. She pulled this sort of crap so often that the ushers were told one of their main duties was to wait for her to make a scene. They were supposed to confiscate her phone as soon as she pulled it out and, if necessary, quietly escort her out. Chances were she'd throw a huge tantrum if she was quietly told to put her phone away. But the ushers didn't even get the chance. Not only did she pull out her phone and start recording, she immediately decided she wasn't getting a good enough angle. So she pulled out a freaking selfie stick and tried to film with that. But she couldn't see her phone well enough that way, so she stood up on her chair and started leaning, trying to get a better angle. She ended up falling over, smashed into like 5 other guests, broke 3 chairs, gave someone a big gash on the head, and nearly pancaked her poor 6-year-old grandniece. Completely derailed the whole ceremony just because she couldn't keep her phone in her purse for like 20 ***ing minutes. All because of DMN Ruth. 6. Not me, but my uncle. The groom's ex stood up, said, "You know what you did," and walked out. No explanation. No follow-up. The ceremony continued. It's been 11 years. Nobody has ever asked. The marriage is still going strong. We will die not knowing. 7. I only read about it, but the funniest was 2 lawyers getting married by a judge they knew. When the judge got to the part of, "Does anyone object?" on cue, one of their friends jumped up and yelled, "Objection, Your Honor." To which he replied, "Overruled, sit down." It took a few seconds for the attendees to realize it was a joke.